Hello. Well, I haven't seen you for a few days now, and I think it's time we have a video, don't you think? What was I going to tell you now? I wanted to show you what a good stepped report looked like, sort of the external cause report, a report where you've got one of one category and a whole bunch of other categories. And I think I started that out in one of the tutorials, but I didn't actually do a report of it. So let's see what we can find. We have got the ongoing tutorial. That's where we're at. We've got the database copy for the 14th of August. Let's copy that one again. And we'll go to today is the 20th of August. Well, it's been a long time. Oh, the Control-C and Control-V doesn't work on this computer. That is the annoyingest thing in the world. But well, hopefully you get it back. Copy, right click does, which is good. Copy, and then we're going to paste it. Paste. Excellent. Right click works. We're going to rename that one to rename. And that one's going to be the 20th of August. This one must have been the 16th because it was closed on the 16th. Just which one? Now, why did that not work? Rename. Enter. Okay, there we go. 20th of August. Beautiful. Let's go into that database and make a report. Do the report, make and dance. If you're working on Zoom on your computer, it's good to do a little dance every once in a while. Do the dance while you're waiting. Okay, we're in enable content. This is the one where we had that beautiful top 25 with most frequent operations where we created an other category. The union category has got an other category. So we've got K20 diagnosis, T-Diag1, that's oesophagitis. We've got these top two, and then the 44 other categories. So we combine them together. But you'll notice that we've got quite a bit of duplication in here. If we just made a report out of this, or for example, we went to create report, and we just made a quick darn fancy dandy report, bing bang boom, we end up all this duplication here. And that's wasted ink. We don't want to have wasted ink. We don't want to have duplication. The other thing is we want the numbers to be on the far right hand side, because numbers should be on the right hand side. Descriptions and codes. So the code should be to the left of the description, and the numbers should be on the far right hand side. I got my left and right there. So we could do it to this report. So first thing, I'll show you how to do it with this. No, what should I do first? Yeah, I'll show you how to do it in the report wizard, which is a bit fancier. Close that. We're not going to save it. We're going to go and create a report using the report wizard with a pointy hat and everything. So we want the code to the right, to the left of the thing that it describes. So T-Diag1 describes Diag Desk. Toper1 describes ASCII Desk. And then we want the counts later on. So we want count of Toper1 and we'll count of T-Diag1. The count of T-Diag1 is a bit problematic because it's a duplicated count, but anyways, it's good. It's there. So next we want those two things as a header, because those are the things that duplicate. Actually, that also duplicates. So I'm going to put that up there. That means it's going to move it, put it in the wrong place, but that's okay. It's going to. So those three things duplicate. I'm going to. Alexa, stop. Sorry about that. Interrupted by Alexa. So those three things are in there because they're duplicated, and those three things are in there because they're not duplicated. They change every time you go back and look. See, change. Whereas these ones duplicate. We don't want to see those duplications. That's a waste of ink and a waste of your reader's attention. You don't want to waste their attention. Attention's valuable. Now you can sort things. Generally, when you're grouping, you don't need to sort. You're sort of the only thing you want to sort by is sort by the lower level of stuff. So we could sort by the count of topic, sort by the count of toper, and in descending order, so that the most important ones are at the top. Uh, yeah, and the stepped block or outline. So yeah, I'll do stepped just so you get to see what that looks like on the inside outline. It looks very similar to stepped. Uh, oh no, I see. It's stepp's got the headers. Outline has bang bang bang. So we'll say outline, and we'll put it in landscape because we know it's going to be wide, and finish. Great. So we have a quick darn report. So you see this stepped thing. So we've got diag desk oesophagitis, conjunctivitis and T-diag1. So those things, they're in separate sections. It's set up so that they can all change, but they actually all change at the same time. So it doesn't actually matter that they're in the well, I put those in the wrong order. Total one should be over there. Anyways, great. So okay, how we're going to clean this up. So we go into the layout view, so we can move things around. We want to move the numbers over to the far right-hand side. It kind of moved them, but great. We want to move that column back over here because it should be close to the thing it describes. And that kind of goes over there-ish. It's not called ASCII desk. It's probably called procedure desk. That one goes over this way. Yeah, so you can move things around and make that pretty. But what we want to do is clean up this bit because that's all one section. It's a description of K20. It's oesophagitis. It's that many things. So we want to clean that up. How do we do that? So let's go look at it in design mode, and you'll see what's happening here. So there's 3 levels. There's the page level, page header level, the T-diag1 level header, the diag desk level, and the count of T-diag1 header level, and then the header for all those things happen at the same place as the count. But really, we don't actually need all 3 of those levels because they're all 3 at the same. They're all the 3 of the same sort of thing. They all happen at the same time, so we can move them together. So we drag that up to there. We drag that up. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. That's a little box. I'm going to get rid of the box because I don't care about the boxes. I'm going to drag those up. And we actually can put all of those there at the same. The headers can be in the same section. So there'll be a little bit of that and a little bit of that. Now we can collapse these headers now because we got rid of them. Alexa, stop. Another call by Alexa to talk. So we're going to make that a bit smaller too. So what we've done is we've collapsed those headers and we've got the description. They're not quite lined up. Let's line that up a little bit. A bit better line up. So I'm doing a rough job just to show you what it looks like and what it should look like. So now we go back into the layout view, and you'll see we've got this stuff happening once per section, and then all the details of the section. Section header, details of the section. Section header, details of the section. Now you definitely could clean up that section header. You probably don't want the T-diag1 and the diag desk. Maybe you want it above, something like that. Anyway, so that's what that looks like. You got a section header. You might put your percentages here, but the idea is each chunk is that chunk for this thing, and you don't duplicate this because it's, why would you do that? So that's one way to do it. It uses a step mode. You kind of have to use the report wizard if you want to get those sections. You can add those sections later. I can even show you how to do that in the design. They're part of group and sort. So there we can see the group on T-diag1 with A on top, group on diag desk, group on T-diag. We actually could get rid of those grouping because they don't actually do anything anymore because we're grouping on T-diag1 and T-diag1, everything changes there. So it's, you see, it didn't actually change it. It just, when we go into the design now, you can see we don't have those sections anymore. Now we've just got a T-diag1 section where everything happens in there. Yeah, so that's okay. It's kind of ugly. It's not columnar. It's sort of an outline, but it does the job. If you spent a bunch of time on that and cleaned it up, you could end up with a good report there. So that's the first way of doing a quick and dirty report with using steps. Let's show you another way to do it. So we'll go back to that query, and for this one, we're just going to go to create, and we're just going to create a hard darn little report. And that just has the actual block of data. You can see this block of data, the K20, esophagitis, count of TDAG1. So it's the data in a kind of a block. Now, the problem is we've got all this duplication here, K20, 386. So when you make a block report, it gets rid of that duplication through one setting. And I'll show you the setting for that. That's over here in tiny font, and it's called duplicates. Can grow display when hide duplicates. So right now it says no hide duplicates, and it would say yes hide duplicates. And so what that does is whenever it's the same as the one above, you hide the duplicates. So we want to do the same thing for each of these two. So again, hide duplicates, yes. So that is another way of doing it. We've got this section here, which is the K20 esophagitis 386 Toper 1. So good. And so it's kind of nice about this is we can make them narrower. I think both of those can go quite narrow. Oops, control click. Come on, let me get control click. Oh, control click doesn't work. Maybe shift click. Oh, I know why control click doesn't work, because my control button gets stuck down. Okay, so we're going to make that narrower. We want that to be width about 1 cm. Yeah, we'll see what's happening. This is 1 cm. Yeah, look at that. That's a beautiful. Made the report much narrower. This one can also be 1 cm. Maybe 1.5. No, maybe a bit more than 1.5. 2 cm. Beautiful. Almost fitting on one page. We want the count to be over. We want it to be over there. Is that going to work? Yeah, great. Now we want both of these to go back over there. I like to use the arrow key for that. There we go. I made the width a bit weird, but anyways, you can see what I'm doing. You make it pretty. You say you have like that. It's good. The other column ends at the end because it's got an O and these are numbers, and so it always ends at the end. That's nice. But in the other case, it didn't work that well when you're with your when you had UVW codes, it ended up at the start. I can show you how to fix that. I showed somebody how to fix that. Yeah. Let's see. Do I have enough time? I probably do. Great. I'll show you how to fix that. So anyways, that's another way to do that report. So the next thing is how do you make sure that the other category gets at the end? So we've got this query here. So the other does end up at the end here because it's a number. But let's say you wanted to put it at the start, for example. So how do you do that? What it is you've got to add a value to that says this is the other category and this is not the other category. And then so how do we do that? Well, I'll show you a simple way to do it. So we create another query on top of this query. Again, a query on top of a query solves all your problems. Query design, we close that. We drag in that one, the top TDAG, and we just add all those things to the query. Great. And then we add another column and we call it is other. Great. And colon to get, that's the name of it, is other. I might just show you that what this looks like in the build mode, because it's so is other, and we're going to use the if function, if IIF, and that says if an expression, then have a true part, have a false part. So if we're going to say if ASCII underscore desk is equal to other comma 1, 2. So basically, it's just a little function that says if it is other. So it's actually we'll call it not is other, sort other. So run that query, and you'll see that now there's a 2 in front of the ones that are not other, and there's a 1 in front of the other. So what if we wanted to move the other to the top? We could. So we always want to sort by tdiag1 because that's the most important thing. We want, but then the second level of sort is the sort other, and so we end up with all the tdiag1s together, and then the other is always at the top because it's got it's a value 1, and maybe the other ones you wanted to sort in a descending order within them. So I mean, basically, you always want other to be at the bottom. So you say sort descending, but then within, so we want to move that column to this side of the count, because then we also want to count after we tdiag1 and other. Then we want to sort in descending order. So we end up with the K20 sorted together, the other sorted last, and descending order within the other category. So that little filter there, if command, allows us to pluck out the other ones, assign a sort value to it, and then run that, and then save that. Oh, that was a very fun little few minutes, and I will post that on LMS, and you can have a gander.